Give me all the food. So hungry. Hey everybody. I am 32 weeks. 32, which is only 8 weeks away from 40. It's just so surreal that it's getting so close. I'll just go ahead and talk about some changes that have happened this week. The baby's getting big and I'm not that tall, so he's taking up a lot of space. And one thing that I have for sure noticed happening this week is I can feel that my lungs are getting crowded and I can barely breathe. So I'm like waddling around now and trying to breathe. I went to the mall yesterday to just walk around and just, you know, get out of the house, and I was like, just my hand on my hips, like, just and according to the app, the Bump, I am supposed to get darker nipples. My nipples are supposed to get darker. Like, is that possible? Holy moly. Because they say, oh, if your baby's born anytime, it's supposed to help a preemie baby to be able to see them so they can feed. I'm like, oh my gosh, can anything else happen to my poor boobs? They're just never gonna be the same. Kind of gross symptom, and I'm gonna just share it because I don't care, is that for some reason, well, no, not for some reason, because I'm pregnant, at night, I've noticed that I slobber so much. It's so gross. Like, I think one day this week I woke up with it was gross. I feel like I was drowning. I think I woke up because I was about to drown. It was disgusting. That's normal apparently, or not for everyone, but it is for me. Because I never really used to slobber unless I was like really tired. But now it's just become kind of a normal thing and it's kind of gross. But there it is. Speaking of sleeping, which is not really happening anymore, too comfortably anyway, my hips just keep popping out of place, like pop, lock, and drop it, sort of popping. And so every time I turn from one side to the other, there's like a loud popping sound. And I'm pretty sure it's because I'm double jointed, like already I'm double jointed, which is why I can lick my elbow. Totally random, I'm sure y'all don't even care. So because I can do that because like my shoulder kind of pops out. So do my hips, but now that everything's looser and all that good stuff that's happening, well, they're completely, every night when I try to sleep and turn, they pop and it hurts. And I wake up really sore, my hips are really sore. And I feel like I'm out of breath from just talking. Whew, okay. Pregnancy dreams, wow. Okay, they're really starting to hit me now too. And I saw the baby and it was weird because he was like in a pouch and they had to take this pouch out and they had to give him something and then they were gonna put him back. And like this pouch was like a pencil pouch, like, you know, it's almost what it looked like a pod, like you just unzip the pod and like the baby was in there. So they took this pouch out and they put it on the floor, and I was like in this really tall chair and I'm like sitting up and he's on the ground and they're like, oh, you want to look really quick, we're about to open it. And so I looked down and there was the baby and he's just like looking up at me, but he was like big, he was sitting up and he was just playing with toys inside a pouch. It was so weird. And he like looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And I thought he kind of looked like me and I was so excited. But what was really weird was that everything was in color except for the baby in the pouch. It was gray, it was like black and white, which I thought was so crazy because that's something that me and Josh have talked about, like, you know, since Josh is black, like what color the baby's gonna come out. Like, is he gonna come out darker or lighter? It's one of those things, you just don't know. So I thought that was really weird that the baby was gray in my dream. And I keep having these dreams too about Josh, and that he's like cheating on me, or not cheating on me, but like he's ignoring me or like flirting with other people. And so I had this crazy dream that there was this girl and we were having like this party, right? I'm like super pregnant and like I just felt really big and short, and like I felt like everyone was taller than me, and I just felt really like ugly, I guess, and I was like waddling around everywhere. Like girl comes and she's kind of like flirting with Josh, and Josh is like okay, and she's like, oh, don't worry about it, I'm a lesbian, so I'm not trying to hit on your husband. But then like I would see them and I'm like, no, you're hitting on my husband. I was all up in her face. I was like, you get away from my husband. I don't care. You're too close to him. I'm a lesbian or not. You get away. And I got like, and I wanted to throw down. Like they had to hold me back. And I was like little short pregnant girl trying to fight this girl. Like I take my marriage seriously, okay? Nobody's gonna be flirting with my husband, especially knowing that he's a married man. And if Josh has like told them that he's a married man and they still try to do little cutesy things and flirt around with my husband, that is not gonna fly. I will get ghetto real quick. So, back to what we were talking about. Cheese. I don't know why, but like I didn't think that it was that serious, except that it's been going on for 2 weeks now, and it's not like it's this like intense like, oh my gosh, I have to have cheese, but I just noticed that I gravitate towards cheesy things more. I'm like, pizza sounds good, or like cheese and crackers, or cheese and apples, or quesadillas or nachos, anything with cheese. Like I'm not eating all of that, but it just all sounds good. Anytime I'm hungry, I'm like, something with cheese sounds good. Give me some cheese, please. I'm not really a big cheese person. I mean, before I was pregnant, like I like it, but I didn't even really eat cheeseburgers. I never put cheese on my hamburgers or anything like that. So it's weird that all of a sudden I'm like, cheese me, cheese me now, more cheese. It's weird. Again, with the whole pregnancy brain, it's getting worse and worse, and I don't know why. Like again, like I said before, it feels like things just short circuit, like they don't connect. I was cooking and I had put some green beans on a plate and I was gonna warm them up, and then I had my plate where I was gonna put like all the rest of the food on, and I put the empty plate in the microwave and I turned it on and I warmed up an empty plate, and then I was like trying to eat my green beans. I'm like, why are they still cold? I thought I warmed them up. Like, why? That's embarrassing. Oh, that's where the plate went. I put it in the microwave and warmed up an empty plate. Now I understand. Oh gosh. Yesterday was April 1st and I think the baby officially flipped. Like I really feel like now he's head down, and that's probably why I feel like my lungs are being crowded too, in addition to the fact that he's getting bigger. But I think he really finally flipped. I don't think he's dropped yet, but I think he's flipped, and that just is crazy because I feel more pressure on my like bladder and just down there, and then I guess where his feet would be, where he's kicking, they feel higher up and more in the middle versus, you know, I don't feel like he's hitting side to side anymore, and like his punches are lower and his kicks are higher, I guess, if that makes sense. So I really think that he's flipped. So next Thursday is my doctor's appointment, and I'm curious to see if the midwife thinks the same thing. Last week I talked about how I can really tell that my stomach is starting to stretch because of that little like part right in between like where my sternum is, that piece of skin. It's like the nerve endings are tearing, spreading, ripping, I don't know, whatever adjective you want to use to describe it. Really started to hurt. Like before it was kind of just annoying and there, like I could tell, and it was a little tender, but it's starting to really hurt now. Things are ripping and stretching and more things to come, I guess. Those are words I should get used to. The baby looks good, he's healthy, and he's moving all the time. But I guess that's all. And now I will do the belly shots. Please, can I see some belly shots? Well, anyways.